Hello everyone and welcome back to the GH24 News channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Isaiah and Lucas guessed that Michael had been given Digitalis and saved him, while Lucky and Joss compared notes on Cyrus. It didn't take long for Lucky, Liz and Lucas to conclude that Cyrus was their Digitalis killer. They just can't prove it and haven't figured out how to tie the victims together. Liz's senior sick case Sylvie is the real riddle, and we don't yet know if Cyrus killed her. However, everyone differently is ever connected to Sunny, which could be what this is each about, if you take her out of the equation. Unfortunately, Joss and her big mouth, criminating Cyrus of killing Dex and demanding Anna arrest him, has sloped the baddie off that they may be onto him. Joss gives me a headache half the time she's on screen, but I loved Anna's way of informing her she presumably just blew any chance at nailing Cyrus for this. So we're back to the idea I tossed out last week, that Joss may use Dex's gun to kill Cyrus. Why the sanitarium hasn't gone to the PCPD about the Digitalis killings yet makes no sense, but it's not like the PCPD is ever that useful. Also, Portia formerly again mentioned they demanded to check the cameras, yet again, there sounded to be no follow-through. Probably, however, they'll only see a disguised Cyrus and not get a good look at him. Still, he was in diminutives when he unhooked Lulu's machines. Within a week, numerous characters have gone from loathing Willow to feeling sorry for her, believing Drew, the wrong and selfish architect, manipulated her. Principally, it has come down to, poor Willow, that girl can't suppose for herself and needs a man to tell her what to do. This is a far cry from the teacher who stood up to Nina and Valentine, the Willow I enjoyed. Still, indeed Willow has begun to see the light after a talk with Chase, that she's been jumping from rescuer to rescuer, as Joss told her. Dare we hope she's turning a corner, realizing Drew has been guiding her, and she might break this pattern? If so, there may be a shot for her to get some of her tone, respect, and tone worth back. Calling Carly and Sunny, allowing them to see Michael, and agitating his treatment options together was a great first step in freeing Willow from Drew's mind control. Seeing them acting like grown-ups rather than screaming at one another was nice. One of the most shocking effects about this plot, as noted by numerous observers, is that Nina has been the one voice of reason in all of this. Now if Nina would just hear to Ava and rip the band-aid off and tell Willow what her idol had been over to with her mama. By the end of the week, Michael had been woken up, and they decided to let him decide where he wished to go for treatment. It's egregious, he'll be transferred to the clinic in Germany, to explain his absence from the show. On the bright side, this should clear Liz and allow her to go back to work. Still, it's time to wrap this plot up and give the observers some answers. It looks like it's up to Liz and Lucky to do just that, but I'm not holding my breath that those answers will make important sense. Numerous observers have been hoping Drew will be Cyrus' next victim. Right now, the setup is perfect for a "who tried to kill Drew" story. Nothing except for Willow seems to like the Joe right now, and indeed she's starting to wise up a little. As Jordan refocused out to him, Drew's digging himself a bigger hole every day, and if he doesn't start mending walls, he's going to be alone. Indeed, Tracy told Sunny, the slip of the East Coast, to take care of Drew consequently. I don't see them killing the character off, but they've everything in place for an attempt on his life. Then's how I'd write it. With enough important everyone in city abhorring Drew, someone inescapably shoots him. Drew ends up at General Hospital and is in critical condition but alive. That's when someone slips him Digitalis. Still, the Croakers, just like with Michael, save him. The capper? Hoping to get down with it, someone used Cyrus' MO, believing that Drew would just be lumped in with the other killings and attempts. The alternate twist? The person who shot Drew isn't the same bone. Who fitted him? I'd also make at least one of the would-be killers Willow. Hear me out. Realizing her pattern of demanding to be saved, which started with Dawn of Day, and how she's destroyed her happy home and family, Willow snaps, begins to be visited by Nellie and shoots Drew. Still, she doesn't flash back doing it because she was in a state of psychosis. She'll end up spending time in the internal sanitarium for a bit and come back as good as new. The second would be Killer Heads to Pentonville. That one, well, they could be anyone in city. Take your pick. The day after the news broke that Leslie Charleson had failed, Monday's occasion had Tracy lamenting to Stella how upset she was about Monica's health and that she sounded to be sluggishly slipping down and losing that spark in her. Stella indeed advised Tracy might have to step up to guide the family as the new dame. The timing of the occasion was veritably creepy. The show sounded to be laying the route for Monica dying from a broken heart. The talk of Monica continued with Tracy blasting both Sonny and Carly for destroying her life by killing AJ and taking Michael from the family. Tracy was a hustler this week, yet it still sorely feels like the Penns were beginning to figure out how to deal with Monica's situation and that we haven't seen her since December 2023. Unless they speak out, we wouldn't know what brought upon these scenes, but over on Days of Our Lives, the late Drake Hodgson, who passed from cancer, gave the show authorization to deal with his character John Black's death indeed before he failed. As important as I've enjoyed Tracy recently, one thing didn't sit right with me, nor a lot of observers, and that was Tracy deciding to keep Wiley and Amelia from Willow. Tracy said she was doing it for Monica but had no legal right to those children. So I can't say I wasn't happy to see the PCPD do their job for formerly, apply the law and arrest Tracy. Well, Drew had Tracy arrested, but she didn't help herself by not complying and handing over the kiddies per Martin's court order. This is going to up the family battle between Tracy and Drew for sure. Now, where is that tape recording of Michael's showing what Drew and Willow did in the nursery? Jason has surprised me recently, and in a good way. First, he set aside his differences with Drew to move into the Quartermaine manse and keep Sam's kiddies together. Also, he turned down Sonny's offer to take over his business, stating he'd to consider Danny's safety above all additional. Eventually, he sided with Tracy regarding Willow's kiddies, refusing to take them out of Monica's house. Wow. Not only did Tracy tell him he made his father proud, but they hugged, and Jason doesn't clinch. While the show has long said there was no stopgap of Jason getting his earlier recollections back due to the part of his brain that was damaged in the accident, Drug has come a long way since also. I'd love to see indeed the fewest crack in his brain and just as many recollections come through. When the time comes, it would be a nice way to recognize and shoot off Monica if he could have some Jason Morgan recollections of her. Not only did the show ruin one of the stylish effects they had going with Sasha and Cody, but now they've had him ripen and end up gambling and likely in cahoots with Selena Wu again, especially since he doesn't have all the plutocrat to pay her back. While I love seeing Selena back, turning Cody back into a numbskull isn't what I want to watch. Also, what bet did he make with $50K that he allowed? Would get him the millions he demanded to buy Serenity? I still have no interest in Kai and Trina, and they had the perfect occasion to transport him off to the NFL through the draft. Thanks to his injury, he's sticking around to finish his elderly time at PCU. Enough of Lulu's bad station and blame game. And now she wants to go to work at Deception with Maxie and Brooke Lynn. Oh Lord. While Brooke Lynn was detailing her teen gestation to Dr. Navarro, Dante and Cody were talking about how enamored Dante was with Brooke Lynn back during their camp days. We get it. They're Joe's parents, so just get along with this retcon story and stop beating around the backcountry. That's it for my studies, opinions, and prognostications for this week. As always, leave yours in the commentary below.